Subscribe for the latest NBA news and watch till the end for the full story.
The Los Angeles Lakers already went out and got Walker Kessler. They got Kevin Looney, two big men, two offseason additions, and yet they are still on the phone, still scanning the market, still looking for another frontcourt piece. That alone should tell you something, because when a team keeps searching after they've already addressed a position twice, it means they haven't found exactly what they're looking for. And right now, what they're looking for might be sitting in Brooklyn, waiting to be moved. The Lakers enter the 2026-27 season with a roster problem that goes beyond just the frontcourt. They currently have 16 players on the roster, and the NBA limit forces them to trim that down before the season tips off. The logjam is real, and it's concentrated in the backcourt. Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, rookie Cameron Carr, and Bronny James are all occupying guard spots. That is 6 guards for a limited number of meaningful minutes, and somebody has to go. The name that keeps coming up is Jaden Hardy. Hardy arrived in Los Angeles as part of the DeAndre Ayton trade, and on paper, he's a useful piece, a young, athletic scorer with legitimate offensive upside. But context matters. In a backcourt that already features Luka Doncic as the primary ball handler and Austin Reeves as the established second option, Hardy simply has no pathway to consistent minutes. His $6 million team option next season makes him movable and low risk from an acquiring team's perspective, which is exactly why he's emerged as the prime trade candidate. The Lakers aren't moving Hardy because he's failed, they're moving him because the math doesn't add up with 6 guards already on the books. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's one name the Lakers will not put in a trade package under any circumstance, and that's Bronny James. Cal Post's Kobe Price reported recently, the Lakers are more than happy to keep Bronny James, shutting down any chatter about moving LeBron's son, unless the return was genuinely significant. So with Bronny locked in and the rest of the backcourt carrying either more value or more guaranteed minutes, Hardy becomes the natural odd man out, the most logical piece to flip for something the team actually needs. And what the Lakers need is a floor spacing big. Here is the trade idea that has been making the rounds. The Lakers send Jaden Hardy and a 2032 second-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Noah Clowney. That's the deal. Simple on paper, but the implications for both franchises run deep. Noah Clowney is 22 years old, a product of the University of Alabama, and a prototypical modern stretch 4 who can also slide up and play the 5. In 2024-25, he averaged 12.3 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.6 assists in 27.0 minutes across 60 starts. More importantly, he averaged 2.0 made threes per game, a number that immediately communicates his value as a floor spacer at the NBA level. He is not a project. He is not a maybe. He is a player who has already logged real starting experience and produced in a league where shooting from the perimeter as a big man is one of the most valuable things you can do. Clowney's versatility to play both the 4 and the 5 mirrors what the Lakers got in Sandro Mamukelashvili, another big man acquired this summer. But that comparison is actually the key to understanding why this trade makes so much sense for Los Angeles. Right now, the Lakers' frontcourt depth chart breaks into 2 clear categories. Walker Kessler and Kevin Looney represent the traditional end of the spectrum: physical, defensively responsible bigs who can rebound, protect the paint, and hold their own in the post. They do not space the floor. That is not their game, and it doesn't need to be, because that's not why they're here. But Clowney and Mamukelashvili represent the other end stretch bigs who pull opposing centers away from the basket, open driving lanes for Luka and Reeves, and give head coach JJ Redick a completely different tactical toolkit. That flexibility matters enormously in today's NBA. Against a drop coverage team, you go traditional. Against a switching defense, you go small and spread. With Clowney in the rotation, Redick can dictate terms to opposing coaches rather than simply reacting to what the other team does. In Mamukelashvili and Clowney, the Lakers would have excellent depth at the 4 spot behind Kessler and Looney. That sentence alone captures why this acquisition makes sense. It fills a real gap, not an imaginary one. But unlike Kessler and Looney, Clowney is a floor spacing big who can give JJ Redick different options to navigate certain teams and matchups. And at 22 years old, he isn't a rental, he's a piece with genuine developmental upside that fits inside the championship window the Lakers are trying to build around Luka Doncic. Now flip to Brooklyn's side of the ledger, because the Nets have their own roster math problem and it's actually pushing them toward moving Clowney, whether they want to or not. This offseason, Brooklyn added Moritz Wagner and Julius Randle to an already crowded frontcourt. Factor in Day'Ron Sharpe and Josh Minott, 2 players the franchise has genuine long-term investment in, and Clowney's path to meaningful minutes in Brooklyn gets narrower by the day. Unless they plan to pay Clowney next season, it may be time for the Nets to offload him. He is heading into restricted free agency next summer, which means Brooklyn has to make an active decision, match an offer sheet and pay him, or let the situation drag into next offseason as an unresolved loose end. Trading him now avoids that problem entirely, and what they get back is not nothing. Jaden Hardy, who has a $6 M team option next year, would be a risk-free acquisition, slotting in behind second-year guard Igor Demin and rookies Mikel Brown Jr. and Nolan Traore. Brooklyn is in a developmental phase. Hardy is a young, high-motor scorer who can contribute without demanding a featured role. The 2032 second-round pick is the sweetener that pushes the deal from acceptable to worthwhile for the Nets front office. That said, fair questions exist about this trade from both directions. Could the Lakers extract more value for Hardy somewhere else? Possibly. He has real scoring ability, and a rebuilding team with more backcourt minutes to offer might pay a higher price. Is Clowney's URFA status a risk? Technically, yes, the Lakers could acquire him, invest a season into his development, and then watch him walk next summer if they aren't willing to match an offer. Does Brooklyn want Hardy specifically, or would they prefer a different type of asset? These are legitimate concerns that both front offices would have to work through. But here's the counterpoint. The Lakers aren't giving up anything irreplaceable. Hardy has no clear role in LA. The 2032 pick is 7 years away, which in NBA terms is practically theoretical. And Clowney, even as a one-year rental worst case, fills a specific need at a position where the Lakers currently lack shooting. The risk-reward calculation leans heavily toward making the deal. Clowney, a prototypical modern stretch 4, has the versatility to also play the 5 position, much like Sandro Mamukelashvili, another LA acquisition this summer. That versatility is the thread that connects everything. It's why Clowney isn't just a luxury for this roster. He's a functional necessity. The Lakers can survive without elite depth at the 4 if their starters are dominant. But in a 7-game playoff series against a team built to exploit size advantages, having Clowney available off the bench as a shooting big who can guard multiple positions is the kind of edge that wins close series. He averaged 2.0 made threes last season while averaging 12.3 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.6 assists in 27.0 minutes across 60 starts. Those numbers, combined with his age, make this one of the more efficient value acquisitions available on the current market. The Lakers aren't trying to win a trade, they're trying to win a championship. And sometimes the smartest move isn't the headline move, it's the quiet, efficient swap that quietly solves a real problem. Hardy for Clowney, with a second-round pick attached, is that kind of move. Brooklyn gets a useful guard and draft capital. Los Angeles gets the floor spacing big they've been hunting for all summer. The Lakers are more than happy to keep Bronny James. Hardy, however, is available, and if Noah Clowney is what comes back, that's a deal worth making.